Hey guys, Jay here and welcome back to the channel. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the notifications bell to stay informed. So I'm going to be talking about a pretty controversial subject, which is the LUNC burn narrative. And what I really think is that over the course of time, we've kind of forgotten our roots as a blockchain. And this really does come down to being reliant on the idea that the ecosystem can be contributed to equally by everyone. And what we've learned over the course of 2 years is that's simply not the case. And that's what I'm going to be going through in this video and kind of showing my point of view and my stance currently on burning. And I've been thinking a lot about burning in the past months as we've been moving towards the bull run, because eventually BTC is going to get sent into the stratosphere. And it seems that there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. There's strange burns going on. There's transactions that are not showing up correctly. Whilst all of this has been going on, right, the signs are right in front of us. Binance themselves have shown us what we need to do. And like I've said, I think and I feel like that's all been forgotten about and people just think burning silly. And sometimes, right, depending on how you burn coins, it can be silly. And if it's a very low market cap coin, you're probably just going to be torching the market cap in a very detrimental way, as to which there's not enough inflow to outweigh those outflows. So when it comes down to Lunar Classic burning, when it's done on the right grounds, it really does help. And what we've got to understand is if we want to burn through a considerable amount of coins, I'm going to be doing a video talking about this specifically, is the idea of starting some kind of LUNC buyback system. Because if you've looked at the recent kind of USTC updates and the laws that surround stable coins, algorithmic stable coins, the market's shifting, regulations are shifting, and it's looking more and more unlikely that USTC could ever be a tool used to possibly burn through the LUNC supply. And I, just like you, I'm tired of watching lots of different validators absorb the more or less the bank balance of this blockchain and not really provide anything back in return. And what we haven't been doing is this idea and this narrative of burning. And the idea behind this, from my point of view, when it's done correctly and you do it in the correct and you do it in a safe manner, you can end up with a decent amount of burning. And when I look at Lunatics token, at the time, I didn't really understand them too well. But at this point in time, I understand things a lot better and how positive this was for the ecosystem. The sad side of this is the coin itself used and utilized to generate those burns didn't really do too well. And when it comes down to these kind of burn coins, they're like meme coins and you've got to have a very good narrative behind it. And there was a good narrative behind it. We just didn't really understand the system moving forward at that point. But from where I'm sitting now, I really do think the time has come for us to understand that Binance has continued burning for a specific reason, and we should follow suit with that. We should raise the burn tax to 1.2% from my point of view, because we are going into the bull run. Validators do move big amounts of coins and CXs move even bigger amounts of coins. And with a 1.2% burn tax in place, you're actually getting at those coins and it's less for us to have to buy back later. And I just don't think there's a good enough roadmap, even though we've got a development team that are more or less working on fixes, bug fixes, updates. It's not anything that's going to help with the marketing side of things. It's not a narrative good enough for us to continue pushing forward as an ecosystem, but burning is. It's universally accepted outside of the cosmos. Shiba Inu itself is built on the burn narrative. And guess what? Binance don't burn Shiba Inu coins. Right? They burn LUNC coins, and this is such an important point going forward and something that we need to understand, that we can have as many developers as we want. We can have all of these different people doing different things, but if we do not have a way of actually generating hype around our ecosystem, again, it's all going to be fruitless, because community is what drives an ecosystem. Positivity and those people going out and then explaining to other people about how great the ecosystem, about how good things are going. And when you start to tie in good development, good community, good support, good burning, and a good narrative, this ecosystem will start to push upwards again, like it did when we had coins like Lunatics token burn, and even when Chromat was burning, which is one of the worst burn coins out there, we were in a much better position than we are now. There was hype, there was new holders coming in, Lunatic's token was generating new holders, and that's why I kind of like all of the different things, and I've really like eased up on my view with burning, because even people like Terra Casino do decent burns. So this is all stuff that I do take into account when I think about why we should push harder on the burn narrative, why I think that there should be buybacks and burns, and what we should probably do at this point is think about what we should do with the funds in the community pool that are primarily USTC. Should we do buybacks with those? Should we do categoric burns with that funding? Is this something that would be beneficial to the blockchain during a time when we're not going to have another opportunity like this until the next halving? So we should make the most of it, because if you believe in LUNC as much as I believe in LUNC as a validator, as a content creator, as someone who's created lots of different ecosystems, then you're here for the long haul. You're going to be here for the next halving event. You'll be here for the next bull run. So let's all put our noggins together. Let's actually look at the signs that are in front of us. Once again, Binance has continued burning, and some people would sit there and they would say to themselves, okay, Jay, so why don't MEXC burn? And there's a very simple answer to that. There are no fees on MEXC to burn. So therefore, they've got nothing to burn because they don't get anything from the trading. But let me tell you something, and this is why raising the 1.2% burn tax is very important, because if MEXC move any coins in any wallets, right, they're going to be subject to the burn tax, right? All of these small independent movements that happen inside the blockchain with holders, actual coins and memos, yes, they are not going to be subject to the burn tax in a lot of situations because it's not happening on chain. But when a CX moves all of their assets from wallet A to wallet B, it has used our blockchain to do that. It hasn't been done what is deemed off-chain. That happens on-chain and it burns a lot of coins. We've seen this happen multiple times. So for instance, the reason why Binance is able to move so many coins and we see so much heat coming from Binance is because they're whitelisted. They have the ability to move coins with no tax. And if they weren't taxed and it didn't hit them that hard, why did they, and this is the only time they've ever threatened to stop burning, was if we didn't get a whitelist together to get them on, right? So these are all the different signs I'm looking at. And I really do think the burn narrative, it's time to push harder on it, because there's not really any projects that are giving what they're taking. There's a very small amount of them, and those projects don't have a lot of support. They don't have big communities, and they don't have the kind of reach that they need moving forward. So what can bring more holders? What can rejuvenate this ecosystem? What can bring new life to this blockchain with a sense of accuracy? And instead of coming up with a fishwives tale, as I would say it, we come up with something that is true. Binance are burning. We have a considerable amount of coins to burn through, and we should make every effort as a community, as an ecosystem, as a blockchain, as a consensus, as a group of validators to burn through these coins, because currently that is the biggest issue. Every single thing that I ever run into with this blockchain is we have a substantial amount of coins, and that is what's stunting our growth. But the honest answer to that is it's not stunting our growth as much as you think, but it is a growing tool from my perspective. It's something that can be used, harnessed as a narrative to push us forward. And whilst the developers do whatever development they're doing and correcting small amounts of fees and the handlers and doing very minute corrections, we as a community, as an ecosystem, can continue to bring in new holders based on what people already like. Burning, right? And if burning wasn't that important, if people didn't like it that much, people wouldn't still be hanging on to the idea that the 400 trillion Shiba Inu coins in surplus would burn. They still wouldn't stick to it. So it's something that we should look at and think to ourselves, do we need to reinvent the wheel? No, because the wheel's fine. Has it got tread on the tire? Yes. Well, let's keep going with it. Let's keep moving with it. Let's harness the Binance burning. Let's get in better communication with Binance, and possibly they can help us figure something out during this bull run, because money is going to move regardless. People are going to be cashing out if Luna Classic does a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8x. And some people who are probably sitting there and say in the comment section sometimes, you know, what will Luna Classic do during this bull run? And honestly, throughout the 2 years, we've seen the highest of about a 600% gain from that low. So I personally think we could go over 1000% in gains, maybe 2000% in gains, with a narrative as hot as Binance burning and us burning, more coins coming together. And I know Lunatics token are wanting to spin up again. They're wanting to try this again, and hopefully they can burn through a lot more coins. But let me know what you think about this. Do you think burning's fruitless? Do you think it's pointless? Do you think Binance just do it for no reason? Do you think that Shiba Inu burning is pointless and no one wants to see it? Or is that the reason why people are so interested in it? Is that the reason why the YouTubers that have surrounded themselves with SHIB burning have become so successful, and it has pushed those coins up to multi-billion-dollar market caps? Do we want to be a multi-billion-dollar market cap coin? Yes, we do. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Like I was saying at the beginning of the video, if you liked my content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notifications bell to stay informed. And aside that, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.